So good morning, everyone. I am Reverend Dr. Candace Beckett, and I am the GAP minister here in Ukiah, California, where there is a Center for Spiritual Living. And I just want to welcome all of you that are here today who want to participate in our beloved community. And as always, I want you to know that it's not just your face that is welcome here, it's your soul that is welcome here. I'm so happy that you could all be here because this is, for me, this is a really special day. And we'll get to that in a moment. Uh, but what I also want you to know, as always, is that somewhere in this service, whether it's in the treatments or the music or the message, that whatever the good is that you have been looking for, you've come to the right place, for your answers are here. So sit back and relax. And today, our opening treatment will be given by Theresa Staber. So, Theresa? Honey, you need to unmute yourself. So, Theresa, you need to unmute yourself. I can see that you're treating, but I can't hear you.
Okay. No,
she's trying to unmute. I think she's trying to unmute herself. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, I was trying to.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's been a very big week here in our household, and the least of not which has been invasion from the ant. Oh, you can't hear me? God. Let me see what my sound is. Oops. Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's been a very big week here in our household, least of not which has been an invasion of ants, and my finger turning purple and some other things besides that. And I forgot for a moment who I was. And thanks to Joel Goldsmith and the power of the presence, I was able to come back to myself. So with that in mind, I begin this treatment. If we can just settle into ourselves, and it always helps to take a couple of deep breaths. As I am, God is. As God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. As I speak this truth for each of us, I know that this presence within all that we are. We consciously open our minds, our hearts, and our souls to the realization that God's grace is always expressing itself through us. We awake today with the realization that as our consciousness grows, in this knowing, we live more fully in a place of peace. We take off the illusionary glasses that block the sun and distort our reality to being one that we must blunder through on our own, feeling separate and feeling that God is external. Instead, we realize the truth that God operates in, as, through us. We say to ourselves, God is health, we claim it. God is the love I am, we claim it. God is the security and safety we are, we claim it. God is the peace we are, we claim it. God is the freedom we are, we claim it. God is the prosperity we are, we claim it. Knowing this, I release the bombardment of beliefs in our world to justify fear. The God of our knowing is omnipresent and omnipotent, and is the only power there is. As we daily contemplate the presence, we communicate deep within ourselves. And as we realize that God is not a power to be petitioned over the fears we have of sickness, disease, tyranny, and death, but the infinite power throughout the universe that we can use. We are at peace. With great gratitude for knowing this truth and choosing to live it today, we release these words to the law of mind, knowing their truth, saying, and so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Theresa. That was really lovely. That's what I needed to hear. So now we're going to have some special music. So Madge is our soloist today. So Madge.
Okay. Well, I want to, we're a week past the equinox, but I thought it was a good time to have a song for spring and for the return of longer days. And so I'm going to sing my song Healing Way, which was written on an equinox in the homeland of my grandfather in Lithuania. Do you want screen share? It's not necessarily a sing-along, but if people want to see the words, I could screen share it. So it's a question for Candace.
Oh, let's just go ahead and sing the song today.
Okay.
I need
And
breath.
then, all right. And my voice is never quite all there in the morning, so it might be a little scratchy. Winding through woods and dales, following ancient trails, hearing the sigh of trees, feeling the cooling breeze. This is the healing way. This is the light of day. Open your heart to life. This is the way. Now as the days grow long, listen to nature's song. Waters are flowing free, joining the sky and sea. Birds fly in symphonies, making their harmonies. Open your heart to life. This is the way. La 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 Sun shines her rays of heat, sandworms beneath my feet, seeds growing in the earth, unfold in acts of birth. This is the healing way, this is the light of day. Open your heart to life, this is the way. Light follows every day, time to wash cares away. Lovers may meet again, or lonely sleep again. Forgive your enemies, look for your inner peace. Open your heart to life, this is the way. La 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 la. Winding through woods and dales, following ancient trails, hearing the sigh of trees, feeling the cooling breeze. This is the healing way, this is the light of day. Open your heart to life, this is the way.
That was wonderful, Madge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, so like I said, this is a really special Sunday for me. I'm very excited because we are having our first student speaker. And today I've got to tell you, I'm going to be introducing to you Gina Colvario Krupka. And she's already been a gift to us. She is, in our first conversation, she kind of opened my eyes to some stuff that we could be doing technologically. And then this morning, she actually came on a little early and gave me a little tutorial. So I'm excited, but I'm also excited to hear her speak. In her bio that she sent to me, the very first thing she said kind of touched my heart, because she said that she is blessed to be a wife, a proud mother of 2, and a grandmother of 4. And you know that's also where my heart sings. So I appreciate that. But what you also need to know about Gina is right now she is a senior and she is attending the Holmes Institute via technology mostly, but she's part of the Florida campus. She is also a licensed practitioner, and currently she is the director of youth and family ministry at the Concordia Center for Spiritual Living, which is located in her hometown of Warwick, Rhode Island. So she is coming to us this morning, or well, for us this morning, for her this afternoon from Rhode Island. She is also actively involved in the Greater Boston Center for Spiritual Living, where she is currently serving as an advisor to their board and leading their re-emersion team that is beginning to look at in-person services after a year, just like everybody else being completely virtual. And she can correct me when she comes on if she wants, but I think they're actually going to try to do their Easter service live, which is next week. So hey, that should be cool. She is also active in the prayer team for the New Thought Media Network. If you guys haven't heard about that or looked into that, you need to. And on that network, she does 2 live podcasts. One is called The Peace Circle. The other is The Joy is in the Journey. She is also the founder of Believe in You Today. She's a certified life coach, published author, motivational speaker, and she's been doing all of this in some way for 25 years experience. So her passion is truly in helping people realize their potential and live happy and fulfilled lives. So as I say, I'm so excited to have Gina here today. Her topic is power, action, and transformation. So Gina, take it away.
Thank you so much. And I told you could take liberty. You didn't have to do it all. It's a mouthful. I appreciate it. There's a lot going on. Spirit has kept me busy, and I am grateful for it. So it is a gift to be here with all of you and to meet you all virtually from here in Rhode Island in my living room. So what a gift it is. And yes, today's topic is power, action, and transformation. And I'm going to share my screen and we're going to do a bit of I have a slideshow for you that I wanted to talk about. So this is actually timeless wisdom and evolutionary vision is what the theme is for all of CSL this year. And that is, as every month comes out, there's different topics for the month. And this month's theme is open to possibilities, which is perfect going into springtime, this perfect time of rebirth and regrowth. In New England, it is a beautiful time of year because we especially have had everything, there's been snow everywhere and it's been cold and there's nothing that, it just goes within and restores itself. And this is the time where everything is alive. And it's that infinite possibility of rebirth, which I just absolutely love. And in addition to that, it's also that time of, it's a time for coming alive and looking at ourselves. What did I do over the wintertime? It's just a time of reflection. And what do I choose to make out of this time of new beginnings? So in this time, whether it be the solstice or whatever it is that calls to you, when the days are longer, it gives more of an opportunity for us to be in that light, figuratively and literally. So this is really a calling forth of that. Now, to embrace the new, we have to release something. You know, we need to release what does not serve. So there is something keeping us away from, then this is the time that we go through and we let it go. Now, it's also Palm Sunday. And my roots are, I was raised Catholic, and I always loved the figurative nature of Palm Sunday for me. And in this teaching, even more, because that Christ consciousness is what we teach, what we strive for, what we are already, but it's what we choose, or at least I choose to embrace. Ernest Holmes considered Jesus to be the greatest teacher and came here and told us that it is the Father within me that does the work. So each one of us has that opportunity to be that light, to be that infinite possibility. It's what we choose and what we embrace. Now that power is already there, and it's not more powerful for some than others. Spirit does not play favorites. It's what we learn. You know, Ernest Holmes says, it's what you can take. That's what you get, what you can take, and the taking is mental. But when I go through any topic, the first thing I think about is when I was first introduced to it. Well, that's great. You tell me I can have more peace. What does that even look like? I didn't know what peace was until I came into this teaching. And that may sound ridiculous, but I grew up inner city Boston. Everything was chaos. The more I could fit into a day was how it went. And it actually took me, even in these teachings, it took 2 cancer surgeries for me to stop and realize that the world spun without me. And unfortunately, that was how I had to learn that lesson, that I had choice in everything that I did or didn't do. That I was nobody, my responsibility was to Spirit first, and then me, and then whatever I chose from there. It changed my perspective in life in a lot of ways. And when I teach and I speak to people, I always say, I don't want you to have to learn it that way. So you get a choice on how you recreate your life on any given day. The power is inherent. We know that, we believe that, or you wouldn't be here. We know that is truth, but how do I access it when I'm not sure? How do I do that? Think of that power as a garden hose. Now I grew up in inner city Boston, so I just called it like a faucet, but I think it's like a spigot or something like that's what it's actually called. But when you open that, the hose, the water comes out. And that's what we are. We are that faucet for Spirit. Now, it doesn't mean that there's not as much accessible for me as somebody else, but how much am I opening it? It also is there a blockage in the hose? If it's curled, you know, sometimes it catches itself and it's blocked, there's not going to be anything but a trickle. So you have to unwind it and get it straightened out. Sometimes there's something in the hose that may block it. For us, those are those weeds of doubt, insecurity, fear. It could be just this past year, seeing all the things go on around us in the outside that we feel out of control. And that's only a feeling. It's not a truth. It could never be a truth because it would mean it was always that way. So it's learning how to clear the path and allow that flow of Spirit to come out, because the power is there. So how do I move it into the action part of things? And that's where sometimes the work is. That's where we go into this place of, you know, paying attention in a greater way. And what does that look like? So when it comes to, that sharing of my good, my nature, my truth, am I using my skills? Am I using the best in me? Or is it locked in some way? And that's when we have to decide. Ernest Holmes said, I have the power to live the good. Sorry. I have the power to live a life of good. My power is from on high. It cannot be taken from me. It will not leave me desolate. Power flows through me and is in me. I can now feel it, sense it. It is my power. It is continually present. I am the power to live. So it is you. And sometimes we forget. Sometimes we forget that there is a consciousness within us. This is actually Joel Oldsmith. He said, the Christ is here. It is your very own consciousness when human thought is stilled, where human effort ends. The activity of Christ begins. So when we still ourselves enough, when we still the ego, when we still that constant mind that is not the one mind, the noise in the background. Sometimes it's other people's voices, unfortunately. Sometimes it's that self-doubt, whatever it may be. Those are the weeds that we get to pluck out, that we get to choose again what I pay attention to. Because it can't all be there at the same time. I have to release and move into something new. Sometimes, and they've done studies that people can be in pain and stay in the situation because it's familiar, rather than to create the new and let go of the, you have to let go of the shore to strive into the sunset. So what are you choosing, the greater or stuck to the lesser? When we're holding on, we're not open. And that's up to us to do, to choose, to remember who and whose I am. And that's the most important thing, because when we're caught up in the stuff, it's sometimes hard to remember the truth, our true nature, especially when we're not seeing the people that are like-minded. It's one thing to be online an hour a week, but when we're not surrounded by the people that we used to be in class with, when we used to get together, when we used to really be steeped in, sometimes we can forget with the distraction of life. So it's choosing to own your power. You have talents and gifts the world needs that no one else has. No one is like you. No one has your background. No one has your experience. And you have the opportunity to share it or not, embrace it or not. I mean, we have tools, that we can use in our teaching, and some people do, and sometimes we forget. The gift is getting into a routine, having a morning routine, whether it's the readings and meditation. We actually at our center have a morning call that we do every morning, Monday through Friday. And it's an hour of power is what we call it. And it's 30 minutes of meditation, quiet meditation mostly. This month we actually added 15 minutes of meditation, 15 minutes of visioning, and 30 minutes of a prayer. And it's, what are we grateful for and what is our request for the day? And we always have usually a dozen or so people on, and it's coming together in community as a touchstone to remember who and whose I am, and remember and start my day in truth. Because I can easily get caught up into the distractions of things to do or things that I can't get to do because of circumstance. When I'm in victim mode, I've erased my own power. I've blocked that powerful, I am simply the faucet. The water is spirit. Am I allowing it to be out there? And whether you are or not, because you'd be shining. You're happy, there's joy, there's love. I was talking about Palm Sunday, and the reason I see this visual of, I see Jesus coming into Jerusalem with palms laid before him, honoring him. Wouldn't it be beautiful to remember that we are that that I am that to honor, and it is me to honor you. That every person that I see is that Christ consciousness. They may not be embodying it at the time, but I still love them. I may not agree with them, but I still love them. It frees up so much of my mental clutter, because there are people that don't think like I do, or don't think as we do, or whatever it may be. And the beauty of our teaching is that we know there is no wrong. I'm not against anyone. I just know what I'm for. And that is a beautiful way of living, because when I am against anything, I'm shutting the faucet. I'm blocking my own stream of consciousness. I'm allowing something to take away from my light instead of embodying and speaking for and coming from what is truth. So it's letting go of any seeming resistance. It could be procrastination or hesitation, and finding that courage within you to be the best of you. There's nothing outside of us. You know, it is truly, there's a quote that I want to share from Michael Bernard Beckwith. And he says, all spiritual growth, 100% of it, is about releasing or eliminating rather than attaining something, because we already are it spiritually. So everything you need and ever needed was provided to you at any given moment is within you. And if not, I know that as I treat and I speak the word, and I know in that one mind, I know that it's the law that does it for me and clears the way. And that's when I know the way is made easy. So I get to choose. Do I choose to take divine action? And how do I do that? It's not just about what I want and what's comfortable for me. Divine action is a higher calling, and the way does get cleared. It's releasing the illusion of fear, doubt, or lack. It's knowing and practicing truth. Now, it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to practice it. There's plenty of days I know what I need to get done, but that doesn't mean I actually get up and do it. I can choose, what I do at any given moment. That's the beauty of free thought. We get free will. We can choose whatever we want. But am I practicing truth? Am I embodying and acting like the divine being that I am? Do I remember my birthright is abundance? Do I practice that? Or is there a thought of lack in my consciousness? And some of this it's not about blaming ourselves. It's simply about witnessing, how am I living today? What am I choosing? And am I choosing consciously, or is time just passing? Especially this year, it's been difficult at times to stay in truth, stay in the light, be in the joy of it. I'm seeing my grandchildren today for the first time in a while, and I'm so excited. 3 out of the 4 of them are coming over this afternoon, and the oldest is 8. So the 2, 3, and 8, they'll be here in a few hours, and I'm so grateful. But when I'm not in that light and joy of that, am I still practicing the truth that knows Spirit's got them, and that love is right here where I am? Nothing is missing. The tools that we have to use and practice this, visioning. The gift of visioning to me is I get to know what is Spirit's vision of this. Spirit knows my best. I can, whether it's by ego or fear or whatever stuff may get in the way at times, I can forget that there's a purpose for me, and that is imminent. That's now. It's not someday. This is that someday. So visioning reminds me of that. Affirmations are beautiful. It's that truth from that I am, and remembering who I am. I have a list of I'd say about 30 to 40 that I've recorded, and I have them on my phone with me. And when I am not feeling the truth of who I am, it's in my voice that I'm hearing it. If I don't have my paper with me, or I can just declare it. Treatment is always going to be that greatest tool that we have. We are the best practitioners that we're going to meet. Knowing the truth clearly in that one mind visualizing it, knowing it, changes things. It's already there, but it's mine for the taking, and the taking is mental. And a positive attitude. How I meet each moment of each day determines my day. We know that thoughts are things. So if I'm negative, I'm going to be moving in the wrong direction, or at least not in the direction in which is going to be productive for me. I'm not going to blossom going in a negative direction. I may have lessons because there is no wrong. It's not about guilt. It's simply about witnessing. But a positive attitude feels good. It's a choice. You know, people often say, is the glass half full or half empty? And I say, I'm just grateful not to be thirsty. I'm grateful to have the glass. Where is the lack in that? So what are you celebrating? What are you paying attention to? What are you watching? What are you reading? And I got caught up in the news much of this year, and there was a lot I didn't like. And it would be easier, at least I thought it would be easier, to just not pay attention. It used to make me negative, so why would I bother? And then I came into this teaching where I was taught, I'm here to make a difference in this world. Ignoring it doesn't make it better. It allows it to be. Shining light changes things. So me hiding from it doesn't make it better. But I have to be mindful to be my highest self as I witness things that I know are not truth in nature. It's just an event that I'm witnessing from someone that forgot themselves. And I can know the truth of and for each one. And that is when I'm embodying the Christ. When I am using my tools, when I am letting go of that does not serve and opening up to that which does. You know, it is your attitude that determines your altitude. And I love that thought that I get to choose what kind of day I'm going to have today. And when I embody the Christ, when I live from that place of knowing, it's powerful. And I know you can't see the last one, but the last one says, be in the flow. Be in the flow of life. I love the law. And I didn't for a long time. I'm a very heart-centered person, as you can see with the love pillows in the background. I am just so much into the love of spirit. To me, this thing called you is a love affair with spirit. Ernest Holmes gave a gift right there. It is my favorite book. It is reading that as spirit, as my beloved, and my beloved speaking to me. If you haven't read it in that terms, please go get that book and read it again. This thing called you. I love spirit as love and being and embodying that love. And it's the law that makes it easy. That's the gift of it. For so long, I made my work harder, thinking I had to try to make things happen. When I am taking divine action, it's flowing, it's easy, it's joyful. I am not having upstream thoughts. I am knowing that it's just going. I know the next right step and I take it. And then I know the next right step and I take it. It's not complicated. It's not overwhelming. Everything I need comes because I've declared it and the law makes it so. And I trust it. It's the faith that makes it. That's the speed at which things happen, because there is no big and small when it comes to spirit, and there is no more or less favored. It's allowing that flow. And if at some point that flow is blocked, because at times we all go there, we all have bad days, circumstances, we all need each other. That's why we have ministers. That's why we have practitioners. That's why we have friends that know us and know our truth. There is help all around us for that purpose. You know, going within is a practice. Some people don't know how to do that. So it's not even the only answer. Yes, when we go within, we resource. We're plugging into that light within us, but not everyone knows how to do that. And there's no wrong in that. It's just, it takes using the tools long enough to learn how to be that flow. And I want to share with you, kind of as a call of action, and I'm going to read this. I just figured I'll put it up there just in case. To be in that place of seeing the Christ in not just myself, but in each one that I see. Engaging life. This is actually one of my poems, and I just feel that it fits this powerful transformation, which is what we choose and need. This is the moment, the only one you get. This is the circumstance, the one you will never forget. This is the opportunity to decide to jump in. This is beginning of the life you've wanted to win. This is the reason you were born and for which you live. This is the emotion, excitement or trepidation. This is the place where you decided to start. This is the chosen path. Now live it as an art. You've decided to recognize your gifts. You've released the past. You forgive. You have believed that the best was yet to come. You now recognize the battle has been won. You have received a calling, the reason for which you came. You've appreciated the past and realized there's nothing to blame. You know your purpose, at least the next right step. Life is unfolding, getting brighter with each step. Life is exploring the best within your traits. Life is enthusiastically looking forward to this day. Life is anxiously awaiting what you'll create. Life is exciting. Twists and turns are yours to choose. Life is breaking out and breaking through to all the good meant for you. Life is engaging, meeting, greeting, so much to do. Life is simply allowing life to live through you. And to do that, we must let go of all that was and claim the truth. Transformation is when we're being and shining, and it happens. It's not something that we do. Spirit does it. The caterpillar loses all of itself in the chrysalis. Every bit of the caterpillar dies to transform into the butterfly. And it doesn't know that it ever was a caterpillar. It doesn't remember being on the ground and slithering around. It remembers soaring to the flowers and the beauty, anywhere it wants to go, free. Your transformation into that butterfly is your choice. Miracles are abound. It's deciding to take the next right step. And I invite you to affirm with me as we say this affirmation. I am a powerful creator, and my life transforms in miraculous ways. And I invite you to say it again with me. I am a powerful creator, and my life transforms in miraculous ways. And knowing those miracles are not just for some, that the good that is meant for you can only come to you. And what you don't claim, it doesn't go to someone else. You can't be miserable enough to make someone happy. You can't be poor enough to make someone rich. Your good is meant for you. And when you claim it, you are that example that teaches others how to do it for themselves. So as we settle in, I'd love to just end this with a treatment, that affirmative prayer of knowing truth and anchoring this as that truth, settling into this moment right here, right now, this sacred space at home, that vessel that we call a body. always with us. The gift of right here, right now, knowing that home is where spirit is. Right here, right now, in that one, all are home. And knowing that I take a breath, taking in that breath of life, knowing that spirit is both the breath and the breather. I know there is only one power, one light, one wisdom, one love. It is joy. It is omniscient, opulent, and omnipresent. That one is, was, and always will be. There is no time or space. It is perfect beauty, perfect wholeness, perfect, whole, and complete in all ways and always. And knowing that oneness, I am that. There is only one. Therefore, I am that beauty, that harmony, that peace. And as I know it of me, I know it of each one hearing my voice and each one not. Each one is an individualized expression of that perfection, of that wisdom, of that source. Each one is that love and joy. And I claim that wholeness right here and right now. I claim that birthright of ease and grace. I claim that wholeness as physical vitality and exuberance, of joy of living. I claim that love of and as spirit. I claim that the way is made easy, effortless. And as I claim that truth in that one mind, I know it cannot come back void, that it is already done. So as I set it free to the law, it is the doer. It clears the path. It makes it easy. It makes it joy-filled. And I am so grateful to know and celebrate truth, so grateful to be that truth, so grateful to know that the way is clear and easy, joyful and exuberant. So in that knowing and in full gratitude and joyful expectation, I say amen and blessed be. And together we say, and so it is.
Oh, Gina, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was lovely, the whole thing. I even took notes. Oh, I loved it. So, so we're also thrilled that you were able to be with us today, and thank you for being willing to stay on after the service and have a little chat with us too. But now we're going to move on to our offering. And so I'm going to bring up the offering affirmation for us. And if we could all just say this together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies this gift. With all my heart and with all my mind, I know I am saying yes to something I value. With all others present here, we dedicate these gifts to the values and vision we share. Okay, so I do have a couple of announcements, and the first one is that we are now actually looking at the possibility of reopening, and it won't be on Easter, that is for sure, but it appears that we're getting really close to being able to reopen, at least in a limited way. And so in order to do that, the board is looking for help to figure out how to live stream from the center, because we don't have any of the equipment or anything for that. So if you have any kind of expertise or know of a church that maybe has upgraded and we can get their old equipment, and we're also looking for somebody who can be the moderator, who would be, off camera, but doing the things like bringing up the songs and bringing up the affirmations and stuff like that onto the screen. So if you are interested in participating or helping out in any way, you can respond by email, or you can call the center, or call me. And but we do want to start looking into that. It's been a year, and we'd like to, get together. I was talking to one minister in Southern California who has their county is already open to do such a thing, but it is still limited to, I don't remember now what the percentage is that they could have. So they're doing their service, their in-live is by reservation only. I just thought that was hysterical. But anyway, we need to start looking at that. So let me know if you're interested. The other thing is I have been talking to CSL, to the home office, and they have made the suggestion that we revisit our package that's on the Open Pulpit site, that, people that are looking for a pulpit, looking for a church to serve, that's where they go. And they're just saying, they have sent me back a red line of whatever it was that you guys did last year. I don't even know when you did it. But we're going to look at that. And they're also strongly asking that we put together a search committee or a selection committee. And so if you'd be interested in that, as we get feedback from people who are interested, the first people that would be looking at that would be the selection committee. So what we need for that is we need one layperson. You have to be a member, you know that, but we need a layperson, a practitioner, and a board member, but we can have extras. We don't want to make this too big, but probably, but that's only 3. And I'll serve ex officio on that committee, which just means if questions come up within the committee and you need a answer, I can be the go-between to CSL, or I might actually just already know the answer. So anyway, if you're interested, please let me know. And that is kind of an ASAP, because I am going to start, with the board and at least start looking at our package. But I'd really like to get that selection committee in place as soon as possible. The next thing is, again, building bridges. We're still doing collection for that. This is our homeless shelter. And Theresa, who did this treatment this morning, Theresa is offering to be the person, to be the place where she could collect things at her home and take them to building bridges. I think most of you who are in the Ukiah area know where building bridges is, because it's a small community. But anyway, they always need, paper products, sanitizing things, disinfectants, paper bags, but they'll also take things like used or gently used sleeping bags, blankets, socks, so basically if you have something, and you can always call down there and ask if they have a need. The other thing you can do there is Trudy Morgan is also, she works at building bridges, and she's offered that you could just drop things off on her front porch, which is on Mill, which is kind of, right downtown, basically. Or you can actually just take your donations directly to the center. And if you call in when you get there, someone will come out and unload it for you. So it's a pretty low impact kind of a thing to do. Okay, so I think that is it for today, except for we're going to have a closing song by Madge. So Madge, you want to take that away?
Okay. I just put the words to this song in the chat. So you don't have to screen share and you can still see all of the people. But you get the chat over there on the side if you want, because this is a good song to sing along. And it's by Harmony Chrisman, one of our favorite songwriters. So here it is, Listen Deeper. What if nobody was wrong and no one was right? What if we all just agreed that we no longer fight? Find a way, find a way, find a way to listen deeper and open your heart. Find a way, find a way, find a way to listen deeper and open your heart. What if nobody was wrong and no one was right? What if we all just agreed that we no longer fight? Find a way, find a way, find a way to listen deeper and open your heart. Find a way, find a way, find a way to listen deeper and open your heart. And open your heart. And open your heart.
I love it. You're just the best, Madge. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
all of you for being here today. So thank you, Madge. Thank you, Theresa. Thank you, Gina. Oh, it's just so great to be at a service and not have to be the service. So it was amazing. And thank all of you for being a part of our Sunday. It's a great way for us to start our day. And I love you all. I look forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.